Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, August 23rd. It is 6:17 right now. Market's going to open in about 13 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and then we can get started with our analysis for this morning. All right, a couple more things here to update. I get putting the thumbnails out here soon. So let's see. All right. Looks good. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium real quick. And we should be good to go. All right, looks good. Looks good. All right, solid. So I'll give it a few minutes for people to make their way in. As people join, I'm going to go ahead and mark up news from this morning. So today is Tuesday, August 23rd. Good morning, everybody. Market's going to open in about 11 minutes. First news event from today is at 6:45. We have flash services PMI, flash manufacturing PMI, 6:45. Then we have news at 7 o'clock, which is new home sales and Richmond manufacturing index. So 6:45 and 7. We have nothing pre-market, but we do have upcoming news here at 6:45 and 7 o'clock. Morning, Patricia. Morning, Peter. Morning, Karen. Morning, Casey. Morning, everybody. So I got news marked up right there. I'm going to go ahead and mark up the current K2SR V2 zones right now so that we have an idea as well where these rejection points may be sitting. So got that right there. All right, so everything looks pretty solid. As you guys can see, price is like kind of far down here. It's currently rejecting off the New York Open, which is right here. So price came down. You guys can see the perfect wick projections directly off it. Price failed to break and close past it. Looks like it's coming down for another test, possibly a double bottom. And we'll see if it bounces or if it breaks through. So with that said, we have everything here pretty much marked up with regard to news and the current K2SR zones. Next, let's take a look at the sentiment for today. So looking over here at the retail sentiment, it is currently 37% long, 63% short, indicating that 63% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So we want to do the opposite and buy. It's not a very strong bias, but it is, it's a pretty moderate to strong bias because it's past 60%, which is our threshold. So with that said, our overall bias here is still going to be a buy. It's not going to be as strong as it's been past couple of days, but it's going to be a buy here, obviously, because of the sentiment. Looking over here at the fundamentals, they're currently down 47 points, so it's pretty neutral. With that said, it's going to be still around a moderate buy, not necessarily strong, but moderately, if not neutral buy for the overall long-term bias due to the sentiment over here. Looking over here at the technicals on the short-term side, it's currently bearish. As you guys can see, the trend meter here is red. the pivots are angling down, red pivots over the green pivot, but you can see price is starting to push its way back up, right? So this can easily shift from current short-term bearish to, the long-term bullish. So if this becomes bullish, then so be it, we'll start looking for buys. But at the moment, it's a bit of a mixed bag. So long-term bullish, short-term, long-term bullish, short-term bearish, overall neutral to moderate bullish. So just keep that in mind, guys, when looking, because this is going to come in really handy, especially now that price is starting to shift. We still have about 7 minutes till market open at 6:23 right now. Market's going to open at 6:30. If price continues to push up, that's perfect, because we want price to be above anyways. We don't want price to be anywhere near the sessions down here or the sessions up here. So I'm hoping we can maybe get at least one trade before the before the news over here at 6:45. So we have about maybe like a good 10 minutes after market open for us to possibly catch something. As Maddie is referred to in the past, he doesn't take trades 5 minutes before or 5 minutes after news. So once this news event happens, we got to wait for the next news event to pass as well. So just keep that in mind, and we will we'll just take it as it comes. So, all right, morning Jez, morning Kenny, morning Marco, morning Maria, morning Matt, morning everybody. So just a reminder, guys, if you guys are just joining, we have the news marked up right here. We have the current zones marked up. Currently right now, retail sentiment is 63% short, 62% short actually now. So it's a neutral to moderate bullish overall bias. Technicals over here are turning neutral as well. So overall, it looks like we're looking for somewhat of a neutral to bullish bias. So we'll see. If this here confirms that it swings up, then great. We'll have a stronger bias. So we got about 6 minutes till market open. We got a lot of time. What I'm kind of looking for here is I'm looking for price to stay above this point, above the pivot, so that these here can shift. Once they shift, it'd be cool if price pushes up a little more. Comes back for the retest. We get that rejection off the zone, and we can continue to ride it up higher. So this is kind of what I'm looking for right here. As long as it stays above the pivots, it's going to help the pivot shift. And that's going to be the main key there, because that's going to confirm the shift in short-term bias, which is a trend. Morning, Ross. Morning, everybody. So it looks like about half of you guys are here right now, or a little more than half. People are still making their way in. We got about 5 minutes till market open. So when the market does open shortly, we'll be ready to start looking for entries here. I'm expecting price to be a lot more volatile today compared to yesterday. And I think this will set the tone for the week, because we do have high impact news today. Tomorrow we have some medium to high impact news as well. Thursday, even more high impact news. And Friday, it's just going to be a crazy day. We're not even going to be trading that day. Powell's going to be speaking at 7 o'clock. It's not even worth the risk, because we'll have maybe 10, 20 minutes to look for a possible entry. But we do have pre-market news that day as well. So we'll see how that goes. But first news event for today is going to be at 6:45. Hey, sir. Morning. Morning, Jamie. Morning, everybody. All right, we got about 4 minutes till market open. Got everything marked up. Looks like we're good to go. Just trying to see if I missed anything, but I think we should be good. Morning, Seth. So just a reminder, guys, there was no official trade yesterday. Market was kind of slow. I think today's going to set the tone. So let me just look at the market from a bigger perspective. Let's go on the 1 hour. So as you guys can see right here on the 1 hour, price has been dropping for a long time. It's now going into consolidation, right? You can't really see this on the shorter time frames. Let me just go over here to the clean chart, and I'll show you guys here. It's a lot easier to see. So here's the clean chart. Let me just take everything off. So as you guys can see right here, price has been in a downtrend for quite some time, right? It's been dropping for a while. So it's been dropping. But as you can see now, price is actually consolidating. So what does this tell you right here? If price is consolidating around here, what's going to happen? A breakout, right? So with this consolidation right here, one of two things are going to happen. Price is either going to correct back to the upside, or it's going to break below and continue dropping, right? And this is looking at it on the 1 hour time frame. So a couple things to just pay attention here. I think today we'll set the tone. It's either going to break it outside of this range, whether it's to the upside or the downside. And then from there, we'll see where price goes, because you can see the entire day yesterday, this is the 22nd, price is pretty rangy, right? Just range pretty much. And then with the news coming out today, it's going to spike price down or up. From there, that's either going to continue its direction or it's going to swing it the other way. So this gives you a better illustration as to like where price is moving on the higher time frames. On the 1 minute, you can't see it as well. Obviously, you can see price has been in a range for like some time now. It's literally ranging. But you know, you can always go on a top-down analysis like this just to see where price is likely to go. So it's just a visualization. But you can see right here that the long-term moves don't really matter because we're going to be trading with it anyways. So market is opening in about 40 seconds, guys. When the market opens, we'll start looking for some entries here. I'll bring this back to the 1 minute. Turn that off. I'll come back to this chart if the market gets a little slow. But right now, we'll keep an eye out on the markup right here. So you can see here that it's currently blue. Trend meter is currently blue. It just turned red slightly. So it's pretty neutral. You can see here that the pivots are starting to shift. If this comes back below here like it's doing right now, that's perfectly fine. If we get a wick rejection off, you know, this structure over here, we can take a sell. We don't have to be looking for any buys yet. I'm fine with taking sells if we really need to. All right, so market is now open, guys. So let's see where price goes from here. All right, so a possible sell right here, but it's right at the New York low. So even if this closes, we wouldn't be able to take this entry here, unfortunately. It's like directly on the main red flag. Right there. Which is all good. We'll follow it. See where it goes from here. Actually, it's green candle, so maybe no entry, but you can see right here that price has come down, tested this zone. And now it is pretty much ranging between this zone and this zone right here. Yeah, no, I can see that, Rashida. Rashida said it looks like it's creating inverted head and shoulders on the 1 hour. Yeah, I can see that too. Right now that it's building up. So we'll see. I do think overall price will swing back up. It has to swing back up at some point. It hasn't corrected. It's just in consolidation right now. So no entry off this, guys. It was a green candle. In order for it to be an entry for the sell, we need that wick rejection up top here and then a moderate red candle. If you guys are not familiar with the K2SR rejection strategy, you guys can watch the past 3 mentoring sessions where we went over it in detail. I think the last session was probably the best breakdown of the strategy because I went over it pretty in detail. We had all the requirements and I also went over a lot of examples as well. So if you guys want to watch that, feel free. Again, right here, possible entry for a sell, but it's right at the sessions. So we wouldn't be able to take this right here. Main red flag, this green dotted line right here. We'll follow it and I'll mark it up to see, you know, how it plays out, but I'm not going to be taking it. So just FYI. It still needs to close as a moderate red candle as well. This is not a moderate red candle yet. No. So criteria there is not met. All right, so still no entry. Price is kind of just bouncing around this area. As you guys can see, it's just having trouble getting past this zone over here and this zone right here. Just going back and forth. You guys can see the huge wicks. I'm hoping we find something shortly because if we don't, news is coming up right here at 6:45. We'll have to wait until both of these news events pass, and then we'll look for an entry after it. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to mark up opening price because we already have that here. Opening price is right there. This is going to be the New York open price. All right, so this is perfectly fine. Price is pushing above here. You can see the trend meter turning green, but the pivots over here still have not confirmed the shift in bias. We also need that buy signal there to close. So if that buy signal there closes, that's perfectly fine. What I'll be looking for next is, since the direction is shifting, I'm looking for this to come up, come back down, retest the zone right here, and then continuation back to the upside. So that's what I'm looking for. This is fine. Price can push up as high as it wants because we still need that buy signal. But you guys can see exactly where price is rejecting from, right? There's no surprise here because we do have zones. Rejection right there, rejection down here. These zones are important. They identify where price could possibly bounce, since they are automatically plotted as support resistance. So no buy signal yet, or pending buy signal. But the trend meter is still blue. All right, so we're still waiting. All right, no signal, pending signal still. We got about 40 seconds left on this candle. Trend meter is green. So that setup that I was just talking about, we're still looking for that there. So as price pushes up higher, you can see the pivots are starting to shift as well. That's perfectly fine. We just need price to reject off this structure right here with the buy signal. Once we get that, we can take the buy and we'll be perfectly fine. So we got about 20 seconds. I want this to close around like anywhere above this zone right here, or even above this zone. So if we get that rejection, we can easily, continue to ride it back up higher. All right, so no buy signal yet. That was a big spike right there. The last second it spiked up. Okay, so we still don't have the buy signal. We're looking for a wick rejection off structure, and we're also looking for a buy signal. We have the trend meter over here that's currently green. The pivots here are starting to shift to a bullish bias. So everything here pretty much lines up. We just need a wick rejection off a K2SR zone, a moderate candle, a moderate green candle, and we also need the buy signal. If we can get all of that, then possible entry. Wesley, thanks for the heads up. Wesley said spread is pretty wild right now. It's actually at 190 on FTMO. It is pretty wide. So it's going to be a little dangerous to take the trade. Like if you do take the trade, you got to make sure that you actually pull out and not get greedy, because the spread will it'll likely trap you in the trade, even if it hits your TP or goes right past it. So just keep that in mind. Market is starting to move a little crazy. We're getting close to news price over here, and that's why a lot of people are starting to make moves pre-news. All right, we still don't have the wick rejection. We still don't have the buy signal. You guys got to be very careful if you guys decide to take any trades right now. Don't enter it early. I'd rather have you guys enter it late and pull out for partial profit as price hits TP, rather than enter it early and have it not close with the actual entry being valid. Yeah, Rashida said top tier spread is 200 right now. Sheesh. Yeah, the spread is pretty crazy, guys. So you might want to just wait until news is over. I know it's really tempting to take these trades here because it looks like good setups that are coming up. However, you want to be careful, because even if you do have a good setup, the spread will still screw you because you're going for like 100 pips. You literally have to get like more than enough profit to just even touch any profit, because you have to cover the spread first, inside and out. So just keep that in mind, guys. We still have no buy signal, but our bias here has already shifted. So no buy signal yet. Also no wick rejection off of K2SR. It's getting close to news. As we've discussed before, as Maddie's confirmed, news is coming up at 6:45. He typically doesn't take any trades 5 minutes before or 5 minutes after news. So if the entry doesn't come within the next 3 minutes, then we're just going to sit out and wait. With the spread so wide, I think I'm just going to sit out anyways, because I don't think it's really worth the risk. The last thing you want to do is get into a trade and then it's impossible to get out. And then as soon as news happens over here, it reverses on you, right? So I would probably recommend to just sit it out. If we do see an entry market up for you guys, and we'll follow it, but I'm probably just going to sit it out. Patricia's going to sit it out as well. You know, that's probably a sign that it's not safe to enter any trades right now, because Patricia is usually taking, you know, even the riskier trades. So we'll just sit tight for a little bit. I know the spread's going to come down after news. It's just the market is so volatile right now, and a lot of people are looking to gamble the news event here. It's a high impact news. We haven't had high impact news in a while. So we have flash services PMI. Yeah. So if you want to understand like why these news events are important, you can click on this folder over here. It'll say why traders care. It's a leading indicator for economic health. Business react quickly to market conditions, and the purchasing managers hold perhaps the most current and relevant insight into the company's view of the economy. So this is super important because it's going to indicate, like, you know, if we're in a recession or not. I mean, we're obviously in a recession, or we're going into one, but, you know, people try to say otherwise. So we'll see how that affects the market, and we'll see how the market reacts to it, because people are going to trade both ways. It's going to be highly manipulated. It's 638 right now. 639 actually. Still no entries, no buy signals come up. So it's getting too close to the news candle. So we'll probably have to just sit out and wait. Let's see. John said it's at 200 MMA dangerous area. Yeah, I agree, John. Around the 200 MA, it's easy for it to go both ways, right? Because a lot of people use the 200 MA as the direction. And if it's right at it, price can really go either way. Question from Pat. Pat's asking, with spread this wide, would you just set TP to 800, 900 pips instead of 1,000 in order for trades to actually close? Yeah, no, you could do that, Pat. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I actually do that during Asia session. So like Asia session, in some instances, because it spreads like, you know, 200, 300, 400 sometimes, I'll even go for half TP. I'll only go for like 500 instead of 1,000. So if you want to do that, I mean, you can. But the thing that you want to keep in mind is that the spread might be variable. So it might say 190 now. As soon as you're in the trade, it might go up to like 240, right? So you're going to get screwed either way. So in a lot of instances, it's probably best to just sit it out until it comes lower, because it's not always going to stick at that same spread. Now, not 500 pips, it's more like 50. It doesn't even move that much during Asia. Yeah, I know. And not 500 pips, but just the numbers that we put in on the FTMO, because it's times, like, if you ever use the FTMO quick trade manager or quick trade tool manager, you put 1,000 in the box, but it really means 100. It's just times 10 for the inputs. So it's not 500. It's technically 50. So you barely get anything. You get like half the profit. Yeah, I know, it's impossible. You can't go for that much because it doesn't even move that much during Asia most of the time. All right, guys. So we got news coming up in about 4 minutes. Seth said I was about to say, what am I doing wrong? Yeah, no, you got to go for like half the move during Asia. Even London sometimes, it's not always as fast as it normally is, but yeah, anything outside the New York session, if I'm trading, I'm typically going for a smaller TP, or I'm like leaving early. Yeah, Seth said I'm happy to catch 25 to 50 pips on Asia. Yeah, no, I agree. I don't even like Asia because you'll be holding on to the trade for like hours and nothing will happen. And then all of a sudden your trade either hits TP or hits stop loss. It happens so quickly. And randomly. All right, so these zones over here are overlapping. I'm just trying to pull this up a little higher. All right, so price has made its way back to opening price. You can see price kind of messed around right here. It kind of came down, faked out, shot up, faked out, then came right back down. Opening prices are right over here. So if you guys can see that illustration, I'll just go ahead and mark up the high lows over here on the, yeah, it pretty much hit liquidity right here. All the liquidity got knocked out. If you guys drew up the liquidity lines, I saw someone mention that in the group right now. However, there's still a lot of liquidity sitting on top right here. So I think if we get a spike on news to the upside, it's going to hit all this liquidity right here. That's my guess. All right, so drawing this liquidity here, this will help you guys visualize, right? You can see where price is actually moving. So market opened right over here at 630. It's just been a huge range. So this is pretty much the range for the session so far. It's a huge back and forth. All right, let's see what happens with the news over here. We got news coming up in about 2 minutes. So price pretty much just bounced back and forth, came right back to opening price. Here it is retesting the New York session. This might be a triple bottom right here. We'll see how this candle closes. So there was a double bottom right here. This is the same one I marked up earlier before market open. I said price might come down, retest it for a double bottom, which it did, pushed up. And here we go. Price broke below the little zone right there. All right, we got a minute till news right here. Seth said, feel out where the market is and where buyers and sellers are. Yeah, exactly. So that's typically why we look at sentiment over here. Sentiment is 62% short. Looks like nothing's really happened there too much. Here is the pre-market news or pre-news candle. This candle is going to close in about 15 seconds. And we'll see where the spike happens. I'm pretty sure price is going to spike one way or the other on this news candle right here. All right, let's see what happens here. Who's taking bets? All right, so there you go. Price spikes up. This is why we avoid news candle, because you get a lot of this manipulation here. TradingView is actually frozen. Now it's moving now. Got a huge, huge spike. And it comes right back down. It's actually in the red right now. You guys see how crazy this candle is moving? This is why you want to avoid news, especially high impact. So this candle does not match MT4. If you're looking at MT4, it looks like a huge doji. On TradingView, it's kind of frozen. It's kind of lagging right now. So just keep that in mind. Still got 20 seconds left on the candle too. And the news was negative. Thanks, Peter. Right there. Flash services PMI, flash manufacturing PMI, both negative. And as you can see, price still pushed up right here. So this candle actually closes like a huge doji. Like it's just like a huge wick on both sides. I don't know why the TradingView candle looks like that. It was just laggy, but I'm going to mark up the line there anyways. So this is going to be 6:45. Best news. Negative. All right, so price is kind of just bouncing around at this moment. You gotta wait for it to stabilize. Obviously, price is being highly manipulated both ways. News was negative. Price did push up right here. Let's come back down for correction. We got another news event coming up right here at 7. So, I mean, we can follow along and see if we can find anything, but I think at the moment, there's nothing for us to take right now anyways. Trend meter right here is red. Pivots are still red as well. So what we'd be looking for is we'd be looking for a wick rejection structure, right? However, it wouldn't matter because opening price is right here, news price is right here, and the sessions is right here. So, I mean, either way, we wouldn't be able to take any of those trades. If you look at the red flags, those are like all the main ones. You don't want to trade in your sessions. You don't want to trade in your opening price. news price and if the candle's too big. So just a huge area of red flags right here. Like we need price to get away from this. So this whole area here is not a good area to trade in. We need price to be somewhere above here, somewhere below here, just away from all of this. But it wouldn't really matter because we still have news coming up right here. So if we don't get an entry within the next, I guess like 5 minutes or so, we're going to have to wait for this news event to pass, which is fine because after this news event is passed, we'll have a free range right here from like 7 till 8. So it's just about being patient and waiting, guys. You don't want to trade when the market's moving all crazy like this anyways. Looks like price is starting to shift back up. Let's see what's news at 7 o'clock. News at 7 o'clock is going to be new home sales, Richmond Manufacturing Index. I think this, so I'm assuming this here is either going to be neutral or negative because they're already forecasting it to be negative, right? 574. But from my personal experience, I've seen so many houses on the sale just in my area. And, you know, if my area is like that, it's probably like that around the entire world, not world, but nation. So I think this is going to be negative news as well at 7. So we'll see. And then price will probably do the opposite. It'll probably be negative like it did right here. This was negative news, right? But what happened? Price did the complete opposite and pushed to the upside. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't need to. That's why you don't trade news, because it doesn't matter like how bad the news was right here. Both of it was negative. Flash services PMI, manufacturing PMI, both negative, and it's still pushed up. It's probably going to correct at some point and come right back down, but for now, it's pushed up about 700 pips. All right, so we got a green trend meter pending bullish momentum. Pivots over here starting to shift to the upside. We got a zone over here that overlaps with these two, so we might have to just update this one. All right, it's updated. All right, let's give it another go. We got a bullish momentum signal right there. So what I need at this moment is I need a wick rejection off this structure with a moderate green candle. If I can get that, we can take a possible buy before this news event happens. Also, another one right here, possibly. It is getting close to news though. Never mind, this candle here is huge. Spread's still pretty wide. So we're probably not going to get a wick rejection down here. We'll probably get one around this area over here. Not on this specific candle, but possibly on the next one. So, okay. So we got the wick rejection right here. One thing to look for is a moderate green candle. So you got to make sure that you actually wait for it to close, guys. We're getting really close to news. So if this doesn't happen here anytime soon, we got to wait for this candle, for this news to pass over here at 7 o'clock. 6:51 right now. So we still have some time, but see where this goes. Talanji said took the scary big V3 on all time frames with a half lot, risky, but it worked. Nice, Talanji. Yeah, no, nice work on trusting that. Glad to see it play out for you. All right, so we got the wick rejection right off here. It would need to be a moderate green candle though. We got about 10 seconds left. There's not gonna be an entry off this because it's a red candle, but we'll see. Seth said, thank you, MT4, for going way over my TP. Yeah, now you get a little extra off that. All right, so let's see. So we have a wick touching the zone right here, but it's not necessarily rejecting off it as we need it to. So we need to actually cut into the zone and then reject off. We don't have that yet. cutting it close to news. All right, so the rejection might switch up to this area over here. Still looking for a buy here. Trend meter is green. Pivots are starting to shift to a bullish bias. Looks solid. All right, so no wick rejection yet. We needed to cut into the zone and push off it. Hasn't done it yet. Let's update this right here. Man, this market is like it's like all over the place. It's not giving anything. All right, it's 6:50 times in news, 7 o'clock. All right, if we don't get it here in this candle or the next one, we're just gonna have to wait for this news event to pass, because as I mentioned, 5 minutes before, 5 minutes after, we're not looking for any trades. A lot of manipulation happening before then. So yeah, it doesn't look like we're gonna get it. It's all good. We'll wait for this news event here to pass. Maddie said V1 V1 body full TP. So Maddie actually took the sell right here. He caught that full TP. So nice work off that, Maddie. I didn't take any trades yet. Talanji as well. He took the V3 from down here, I think. I mean, you guys are taking like pretty risky trades, but they're hitting. So that's, that's a plus. So it looks like Talanji actually took this one right here. He had the low with the red candle, pending buy signal, took it off this. Caught it from right here. Rode that thing all the way up. So nice work, guys. Although risky trades, I mean, they're still hitting. So as you guys can see, if you guys are in the Zoom, you guys can see the chat. The members here are still taking trades. They're applying the K2 strategies, even though it's risky, but they're hitting. So you guys can see that the strategies still work perfectly fine. It just depends on your risk appetite, right? Right now, the market's like way too risky. I don't want to take any trades and then have you guys get stuck in them, especially if you guys don't know what you're doing and you guys are just copying my moves. It moves too fast. So you have to really know what you're doing to take these types of moves here. I'm trying to break it down as simple as possible so that you guys can anticipate the next move. That way you guys can get in, get out, no problem. But right now we have news coming up at 7 o'clock. It's about 5 minutes before that. So we don't take trades 5 minutes before or after news. So like basically we just got to wait for this to pass. So 6:55 up until 7:05. This area right here is like it's a dead zone, right? No trades from here up until here. Once this passes, we can start looking for some entries again. And I think that should be good, because now that the next news event is coming, that's going to be it for the day. I don't think there's any other US news events. That's about it. 7 o'clock. Medium impact. Let's check out my FX book. Oops, where was that calendar at? All right, my FX book, I think that's about it. Yeah, we got so on the Forex Factory, it shows medium. On my FX book, it shows high impact. So we got that news event happening. After that, we're good. So let's see. Maddie said SR at 6:55. Yeah, I could see. So for this one right here, Maddie, I don't know if I'd consider this a zone because it's off this body, but there's no actual zone. But yeah, I mean, you're right. You could just mark it up as as one of the endpoints of the zones. So, I mean, yeah, if you wanted to identify that as like the endpoint, you could have. And then you have the wick rejection right there. So yeah, because this one up here is part of it, but this one doesn't really have a zone. It's just the body. Sometimes the candles will give that mark up there. There's not really a zone. Like, I mean, you can draw a zone. Like technically, if you wanted to draw like a really small, like something like that, you could have, but I usually just leave these alone. So yeah, Maddie actually took that, or he identified it right here, and it went straight to TP before coming right back down. So you had to be like super quick. All right, guys, news event is coming up in about 3 minutes. Yeah, it's Laundry Day Trap Tuesdays. Don't get caught in the traps, guys. Like, you guys have to pull out when it reaches your TP. Today's not necessarily the day to be taking any of those unnecessary risks. Okay, perfect. Yeah, Maddie just confirmed spread is down to 150, so it dropped quite a bit. Looks like market is going back to normal, which is perfectly fine. That's exactly what we want. We got news coming up right here in about 2 minutes. So we'll see how the market reacts to it. It looks like price is trying to correct back down. So this news event over there happened. It was negative news. Price pushed up, was manipulated, and now it's trying to make its way back down. I think this news here is going to be negative as well for new home sales. I'm expecting this to be negative. So typically, you know, if I was to trade news, I do the opposite. So if news is negative, I think price will probably spike right back up again. Thanks, Maddie. Maddie also confirmed sentiment is switching from 62 to 61 back and forth. He's watching the numbers change on daily FX books, changing a lot. Yeah, it seems like, you know, people are trying to play around in the market. They're trying to get in and out, or they're trying to figure out which direction they want to go in. So people are basically betting on like whether they want to buy or whether they want to sell based off the news event right here. So don't gamble, guys. You guys don't need to gamble, right? Just wait for something quality. We'll see how price reacts to the news event. It's coming up in about 40 seconds. So I'm personally expecting price to possibly go up. Wait about 30 seconds. News event right there. All right, let's see what happens here, guys. We still have a bullish bias, so long-term bias is bullish, short-term bias is bullish. So if it pushes up, fine. It'll set the direction for the remainder of the session. So, all right, here's the news candle right here. Let's see how it reacts to it. Looks like it's pushing up slightly. It's coming right back down. There it goes. It starts to slump. It's rejecting off New York open right here. This could be a fake out, price spike down and then shoot all the way back up. Let's check the news. News was negative, just as we anticipated. So I had a feeling it was going to be negative. So right here, look at this fake out. They try to lure in sellers. I wouldn't be surprised if it shoots all the way back up. Gosh, it's crazy because it dropped just to lure people in, and look how it pushes all the way back up. It just trapped all those people there who try to chase that sell. That's why you guys don't want to. You guys want to wait for confirmation. We already knew it was going to be negative. Like I gave my explanation earlier. A lot of the homes in my area, they're not selling. Like they're dropping prices. And I live in an area where it's like it's like they're not cheap homes here. So like they were always sold. Now they're having to drop prices because people just aren't buying due to the upcoming recession, if you want to call it that. The economy is just not doing well. So with that said, negative news, typically you want to do the opposite, and there you go, price to the opposite and push right back up, trap a bunch of sellers, and then I'm gonna mark up news price right here. So I'm glad that news happened down here because now we have, let's see, 7 o'clock, high impact news, which was negative. Now we have this whole area over here where there's red flags, right? This is perfectly fine. I want the red flags to stay down here so that we can trade. The hell? So I want the red flags to stay down here so that we can trade up here, right? So I want price to just swing back up, and then we'll take trades around this area. This area is just going to be an area where we can't trade because there's too many red flags. There's news, New York open, sessions, there's too many things to mess up our trades. So this is perfectly fine. I'm going to go and update my zones over here real quick. Thanks, Maggie, for the heads up. So this is gone. This right here is just widened quite a bit. I think that's it. All right, cool. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for people to get faked out on the sell side. And then I'm waiting for it to swing back up. So I'm looking for it to come back down. It's probably going to retest the area down here. And then I'm waiting for it to come right back up around this area right here, because this will be so far away from all of the red flags down here that we can catch the rejection off this point and continue to ride it up higher. So this is going to be my area right here where I'm looking for trades. Price can do whatever it wants around this area. It's a high manipulative area, so we don't want to trade here anyways. As it swings back up, then perfect. We'll be looking for entries. So here's the the clean chart, and here's another identifier that price is going to just skyrocket when it gets up to this point. As you guys can see, there's a lot of liquidity sitting right here that has not been touched, right? So let me just go over here. So price is pretty much ranging around this area. This is the current range, right? Price is just going back and forth around this area right here. The area that we're looking for is going to be up here. This is pretty much what we're looking for on our markup chart. You can see where it's all lined up right here. There's all this liquidity. So when price does hit this point, it's just going to skyrocket up. So we're pretty much waiting for it to get to this point. Once it gets to this point, it's just going to shoot all the way up, because all of these stop losses right here are going to get hit. Like this is basically going to be a stop loss hunt when price reaches this point. It's just a matter of patience, waiting for it to actually get there. It's sitting and it's waiting. So looking over here at the sentiment is currently 61% short. Looks like a lot of the people who were trying to short earlier got stopped out. It was at 62, now it's at 61. Main reason for that is because people just get kicked out of the trade. Their stop losses get triggered probably when it reached this point right here. So it's a matter of patience, guys. Let's see. Seth said the 4 hour is setting up for a buy. It's just a matter of when. Yeah. So Seth over here did an analysis on the 4 hour. He's anticipating a buy. I'm anticipating a buy here on the 1 minute. A few guys are anticipating a buy on the 1 hour. So it's just a matter of time, guys. Just got to wait for it. It's going to come up eventually. We want it to be away from this area anyways. And here he goes. It starts to climb its way back up. So we need it to be away from like this, literally. Here he goes. Price pushes up. I think that's it for the news today. So news is done here in the US. My FX book, it's all done as well. Next news event is coming in 2 hours. We won't be on the live around that time, so it's fine. There goes price starts to push up. So we just need to out of this area right here. Once it's out, start looking for entries up here. There you go. And it's pushing up even quicker than we thought. So there you go. Price starts to swing its way all the way back up. Target area is going to be around here. We still don't want to trade around here because we have this pink line, which is high impact news from early at 7. And you can see where price is rejecting from. So these lines here are in place for no reason, right? They're indications of rejection points or possible manipulation. Wick rejection off that point. Buy signal over here, perfect. Okay, so it's coming up. Got that buy signal. Candle here is too big. It's okay. All right. So this is fine right here. Price is pushing up. Trend meters changed to green. We have a buy signal. What we're looking for now is we're looking for this to reject off structure with a moderate green candle, and we can continue that ride higher. There's no entry right here yet. We're getting to that point. All right, I just need price to be above this zone right here so that I can pull back a little bit, have a wick rejection, and then we can continue the ride to the upside. All right, this is fine. I just needed to close above this point here. I don't want it to go too high. I want it to just close around this point. It's fine if it consolidates around this area. We just need it to stay above. All right, we got 5 seconds on this candle. Come on, we need it to be above here at least. All right, so we got the wick rejection right there. We just need this to be a moderate green candle. It can't be too big. It needs to be somewhat moderate. We got about 50 seconds left on this candle here. And I'm hoping it doesn't push too far out. It's pushing pretty far. All right, it's gonna slow down for a second. Either way, this candle here is too big. And the spread is back to 190. Yeah, thanks for the heads up, D. And thanks, Pat, for the update too. Pat said that on MT4, there's no wick. I'm looking at MT4 now. He's correct. There is no wick. It wouldn't really matter. This wick here is too big anyways, the top wick. And the candle's too big as well. Yeah, I'm not going to take this one, guys. I'll wait for the next one. So possibly off this next one over here. There's also no wick off this one either, unfortunately, on MT4. There is here on TradingView, but MT4 there isn't. Yeah, I would have hit full TP too. If we would have taken it. This candle here again is too big. Yeah. The volatility is starting to pick up. The spread is super wide still. It's like at 190. About 10 seconds here. This would be an actual entry if it closes. I might wait for it to retrace because the candle is like pretty big. I'm not going to take it right away. I'm going to wait. Yeah, I'm not in the position yet, guys. I'm watching it though. Because the candle is just too big. It's going to have to retrace maybe to the halfway mark. So I'm not in it. If I miss this trade, it's all good. It's kind of overextended. So you guys can see how far it's pushed up. It hasn't retraced yet. So I'm like ready to take it because it's just too big of a candle. Plus it hasn't retraced. So it might be due for retracement. I don't want to be caught in that short end of the stick. And it looks like it's going to hit TP. Yep, and hit TP again, unfortunately. Yeah, these candles here are just, they're way too big. It's one of the main red flags. And you guys can see all liquidity getting knocked out right here. It's pushing up a little higher. Again, no entry off this one. Damn, that's crazy. There was 3 entries right here. They all hit. So this one hit, and there's another one right here. I'm not going to take this one though because it's so close to the sessions right there. Yeah, John said better to be safe than sorry, and I agree 100%. There's going to be more entries, so I'm not really too worried about it. But yeah, damn, there's 3 entries here, but they were like somewhat risky. Like this one over here, we had a wick rejection right here. Trend meter is green, pivots were bullish. This right here, full TP. Again, right here, wick rejection, trend meter green, pivots were bullish, full TP. Again, right here, there's another one running. I'm not going to take this one though because it's so close to the sessions and it's way overextended. So I'm going to follow it. I'm going to see if it pulls back and pushes back up higher. Then maybe I'll just catch it for a late entry. I think this will actually come down. This candle is actually too big. So these over here, the candles don't overpass the stop loss, right? For this one over here, this one surpasses it. The candle is way bigger than the stop loss. So let me see if I can make a late entry here. Hopefully, we'll see. If not, it's all good. It's way too overextended right now. So let's see if I can put a buy stop here. I'm gonna have to exit early because the spread is kind of wide. It's like 180 right now. Yeah, Maddie says overextended now. John said overextended trades be the death of me. LOL. Yeah, no, it gets a little crazy. So I'm going to follow it right here. If it pushes back up, I'll put a buy stop there, catch it as it swings up, because it'll probably just swing up real quick, break through it, test the sessions up here, and then maybe it'll probably make its way back down further, or make it, make its correction back to the downside. So I'll be watching it right here on my chart. See where it's at. Let's see. Where is it at right now? Spread is currently at 180. Spread is still kind of wide, but it's looking a little better. I mean, it's still pretty wide. It's just the way that it's currently moving. It's right at the SR zone too. I'm still thinking about it, guys. I haven't put it up yet. So let me see. Still right there. Still thinking about it because it's just ranging around that area, but I think it's going to push up at some point. The thing is, it's just super overextended right now at the moment. So that's what makes it like risky, because it has to retrace. And the problem with this is that it hasn't retraced yet. So whenever you guys see a big candle like this, it typically retraces to either the halfway mark or it retraces to the full candle. So let me just mark up how big this candle was. This candle is about 340 pips, right? So basically it's going to have to retrace to like at least this much before it maybe makes its way back up, halfway mark at the very least. So it's at the halfway mark right now. The full retracement would be the full candle, obviously. So it's retraced to the halfway mark. If it swings back up this point, this might be an okay area. So maybe at this point, I'll put a buy stop right now at this area, because if it swings back up, it's probably going to hit. It's done with the half retracement, but it can still retrace to like the full area down here. That's why I'm not entering right here. I'm not getting greedy and entering down here. I'm just going to go for the original move if it does end up coming back up. So if you guys have been following this for a while, I've gone over this analysis. This is typically why it's one of the red flags. You don't enter right away when the candle prior to entry is too large. You want to wait for it to retrace, and then you'll catch it for a late entry if you really want to enter the trade. So just, an FYI. So here we go. Let's probably start to swing back up. Still following it. So let's see. I mean, if it does end up if it does end up swinging back up, I'm probably just going to take it for a partial move, because the spread is still, or the spread actually got tighter. It's now back to 150. So it's actually looking a little better. I don't think there's anything else for us to look at right now. Let me check CNBC real quick. Any news? So everything here is pretty much looks like it's going to be bull. Well, I mean, the entire indices are looking bullish right now. So let's take a look at the heat map. Still watching MT4 to make sure my order fills or doesn't fill. I mean, it's pretty mixed right now. See where price is currently at. Still hasn't filled my order. I'm probably just going to skip it, guys. So price is still retracing to the full candle right here. I haven't filled it yet. I haven't taken the trade. So look how the retracement is coming down right here. It's coming down to the full candle, and it can still make its way back up. So as I mentioned before, whenever you get a big candle like this, the reason why you don't want to take it right away is because it'll possibly hit your stop loss before it goes back up, right? So that's why you want to wait for it to retrace first. Like, for example, right here, if we're not in the position, it's fine if it enters late, because this is how people get faked out. The candle's just too big. Eric's asking, how do you find the spread? It depends on like what you're using, Eric. On if you're using the FTMO quick trade manager, it'll show up like on the bottom left. It'll say spread and then how many points. If you're not using the trade manager, you can open the market watch and then it'll say right next to the symbol. So if you're trading US30, on the right side of it, it'll say what the spread is. If it's not there, just right click and then enable it in your settings to show. So yeah, I didn't take this trade right here, thankfully. I was just waiting for it. The main reason was that the candle was just too big. So if you guys need like more explanation like why this is, I'm pretty sure all you guys know why, because we've been looking at this for a while now. Let me just show you real quick. I'll just replay to this candle to show you how we knew it was too big. All right, so the entry was off this candle right here. If you put your stop loss right there, the candle is bigger than the stop loss, right? So it doesn't give you enough cushion for it to retrace, because it's going to retrace either to the halfway mark or it's going to retrace to the entire candle before it bounces and, you know, make its way back up. So that's why you want to wait for it first. I waited for it. I was pretty much just waiting for it to come back to the halfway mark and then swing back up, but I never like put the actual entry there because I waited for it to drop even further. So that's the main reason why we didn't take that trade there. It was overextended. There was about 3 entries that happened right before it, which were actually fine. So this one over here hit full TP. This one over here as well, right below it. So as you can see, they come in bunches. There was one entry here and then another one right here. And then this one, which would have been okay if it wasn't overextended and the candle wasn't too big. So unfortunately for today, still no entries for us to take. I'm still looking for one though, because I want to take at least one today. I haven't taken any trades yesterday, haven't taken any today. You know, just being really cautious because of the spread, the overextended price movement right here based off news, and now the correction. So there's no buy signal here, so there's no entry for us to take at the moment. Oh, thanks, Maria. So if you guys are in the Zoom, Maria said she has an EA that shows the spread. If you guys want it, she'll send it to you. Just, you know, message her in the group or like put a message in the in one of the groups here, and Maria will send it out to you. So let's see. Some of you guys here took some trades off the analysis. So like Kenny over here, he took a couple of those buys right there. Actually, he took them locked in a total profit of $2.84. So he's trading just baby lots right now while he waits for his retry. Seth over here said that last trade destroyed the living devil out of my TP. So he took the other trade earlier and went right past his TP. He locked in a total of 38,126 for the day. Nice work, Seth. Yeah, nice work as usual. Al over here as well. Al took 2 trades for this morning, locked in a total profit of 876. Nice work, Al. Kevin over here up 16,000 for the day. Nice. All wins, no losses. And then Kevin over here again, he took a couple more trades, locked in a total of 22,000 for the day. Nice work, Kevin. So he was initially at 16,000, took a couple more trades 10 minutes later, now currently up 22,000 for the day. Nice work, Kevin. Seth over here as well, currently up 58. Wow. So Seth over here is taking pretty much every trade that comes up. He's just stacking them. So nice work, Seth. And then Scotty over here, currently, he took all the buys that we looked at. So all the ones that we skipped over, Scotty actually took them. So you can see the timestamp right here for the trades he took. He took those buys that I just marked up right here. He took this one. He didn't take the last one that would have pulled back, but he took a lot of the other entries here. And Scotty locked in a total profit of 1,305. So I'm glad to see that, you know, a lot of you guys here are understanding my analysis and you guys are taking trades, even though I'm telling you that they're risky. You know, if you guys understand it and trust the entry, then you guys are more than welcome to take it. Just because I'm not taking it doesn't mean you guys can't take it. You guys can take whatever trade you like. But for me, since I'm here on the live, I don't want to give you guys risky trades to take, even though they'll probably hit. I'm not going to give them to you because I don't want you guys to be taking, like, I don't want you guys to have bad habits taking risky trades when, you know, I'm trying to preach to you guys to take quality trades. So nice work, Scotty. Took all of them right there. Yeah, possible entry right here. Thanks, Charles, if it closes. So it needs to close with a buy signal and it needs to be a moderate green candle. So we'll keep watching it right here. Hasn't closed yet. It's got about like 30 seconds left on it. So we need it to close with a bullish momentum signal and it needs to be a moderate green candle. Now, got about 5 seconds. So there is an entry right there, it looks like. Get into this myself. All right, so I'm watching it right here on my chart. I'm in it. TP. Nice. So if you guys caught that, great work. I got it real quick. So I just got in, closed, entered, full TP. So not bad. Thanks, Charles. I was about to miss that one too. So the reason why we took this trade here is we have a wick rejection off the K2SR structure right there. Trend meter is green, pivots over here were bullish, closed as a moderate green candle. I know there's a wick on top, but it wasn't that strong of a wick. So it hit my TP, pulled out, made about, I only made 960 off it, whatever. It's all good. So just an FYI, I did take a couple trades last night. I'm not going to take a screenshot of all my trades. I'm just going to take what we take here on the live because I don't want you guys to get mixed up thinking that we took more trades. So I'll take a screenshot of that trade there. This is the only trade I've taken this week during the live, right? I didn't take nothing yesterday during the live. I took like a couple post-market or like after the market closed. I'm not after it closed, but after we got off the live, I took like maybe 2 trades there for like partial profit. And I took a couple during Asia as well, just like small trades. But the profits I'm going to post here are just going to be the trades we take on the live because I don't want you guys to be confused with thinking that we took more trades when realistically there was only one trade that came up today. So got this right here. Just give you guys a little update. Let me see my copiers. They took it, hopefully. No way, did my copiers miss it? Let's see. My copiers took it, but it's like, I don't know, I guess I got slippage on them. Anyways, let me just take a screenshot of it. I'm still looking for another trade here, but we don't have anything at the moment. So I'll take that off right now. So I'm just going to screenshot that one trade so that you guys know what's, taken here on the live, what's not. All right, so that's that one. Yeah, my copier only gave me 500 off it. Whack, but it's all good. Let's see what my MFF gave me. Damn, MFF gave me even smaller profit. It's all good. It is what it is. I think my MFFs are all the same. Yeah, they're all 460. So I don't know if it was because of spread or slippage or what, but you guys will see on my main account, it hits TP. So it should have been 1,000, but let's see. All right. Okay, let me post this up real quick. So the spread might have caught some people, but you guys can see here. I just want to be transparent with you guys to show you guys that it actually did hit my TP. And the reason why we can confirm that is because it hit the green strip. So here's the trade that I took, that same one right there. You can see right here that it hit my TP as a green strip because it actually hit TP for me. I only made 960 off it. It was supposed to be over 1,000, but it's okay. There was obviously spread issues, slippage. Here's my copier. You can see the big difference. My main account locked in 960. My copier here locked in 560. And then my MFFs over here only locked in 460. So there was some slippage there. But you can see my main account here actually did hit TP. That's why it closed out. Yeah. Madhu said his copier got less profit too. I think there was just some slippage there. Madhu just executed late. Because it looks like it just hit my TP and then it came right back down for that trade right there. It's all good. We'll keep looking for another one here. The spread is changing so super often though. Right now it's back at 170. It was at 190 earlier. It went down to 150 when we took this actual trade. Now it's back at 170. So the spread just keeps changing. Not necessarily a good thing, but it's due to the volatility in the market. So MP2 SR. Projection scale live session. Hopefully we can catch one more. I'm hoping to get at least one more before the live session, but it's okay because just a reminder, guys, it's Tuesday. We have a whole 2 more days left in the market. We have Wednesday, we have Thursday. Tomorrow is actually going to be more volatile because the paces are even set today. So with the news today, it kind of pushed price around. You can see the liquidity here got hit. It didn't push all the way up, but the liquidity did get hit around this area right here. It got pretty high. I just didn't get to that last point. So the thing is, if price actually came and touched this point right here, then it probably would have pushed up higher. But it didn't, right? So we'll see where price goes from this point. Price looks like it's starting to swing back down. But the problem with it being down here is that this is all red flags. You guys can see all the horizontal lines. There's news here, opening price, sessions, and news right here. So you don't want to be trading around here regardless. You want it to be back around this area over here. So I'm just giving an update over here. If you guys have profits to post off that SR scalp, feel free to post them up, and then I will add them to our postings for today. Otherwise, if you guys didn't, it's okay. Let's wait for the next one. I know that trade came up super quick. You got to be really paying attention and ready to go, but it happens. I was hoping it was going to come in bunches and there's going to be about maybe another couple entries that happened after it, but unfortunately not this time. So let's see. A couple people here sent in their profits. So Kenny over here took some wins off that as well. Nice work, Kenny. And Melzon over here, he took that same buy that we just took. So the same buy that I just posted right now, this one. And Melzon took it as well. He made 1,030. So he actually got his full profit off that. So nice work, Melzon. He actually caught it, the full 1,000. His second account over here, he locked in 1,055. So first one 1,030, second account 1,055. Looks like he might be trading these manually. And then his MFF only gave him 200 bucks. So as you guys can see, the big discrepancy there. His 2 FTMOs locked in 1,000 each, 1,030, 1,055. His MFF only gave him $200 profit. I know it's frustrating, but it is what it is. I know it sucks. Yeah, I feel like MFF has kind of been super off lately. It's been about a month now, or it's been like that. So Anelli over here too, he got about the same as me. So his FTMO locked in same profit as me, about 960. So nice work, Anelli. And I think his copier made 710, better than mine, gave me 460. So his copier only gave me 710. Mine gave me 560. So it's all good. Profit's profit. Another possible entry right here, guys. I'm looking at this right now. Got about 30 seconds left on this candle. We need that buy signal to close. So guys, just make sure that you're patient. You wait for it to actually close. We got the wick rejection right here. But we need that buy signal there to close, and it needs to be a moderate green candle. So just actually wait for it to close. Don't like hop in right away. Let's see. Because you don't want to hop in and then the candle doesn't close properly, right? You want to also make sure that it actually has the buy signal. It's okay, I think. It's kind of iffy. Let me see. All right, I'm in it. The wick up here, I mean, this thing closed like super like last second with the wick right there. But there it goes, it pushes up. It's going up. Let me see on my thing here. Just gotta make sure I pull out if I need to. Full TP. Boom. Another one right there, guys. Another win. All right. That was nice. Yeah, Peter said yes. That was one of those trades. These trades happen really fast, guys. Like, and a lot of times they come in bunches. So if you guys caught it, great. This is why you guys got to be paying attention to actually understand the strategy that's being applied so that you don't have to be kind of lost, right? If you guys know what's going on, you guys will be ready to enter right away. If you guys are still confused about the strategy, you're not 100% about it, watch the previous mentoring session, right? Watch the last 3 weeks of mentoring that I've done live with you guys. I've gone over a ton of examples. I've gone over different scenarios. But yeah, it played out pretty nice. Man, I only locked in 890. I don't know what's up with this. It hit my full TP, but I only locked in 890. It's okay though. I'll show you guys. It's a little annoying, but whatever. It's still profit. I'm looking for a possible one right here, but it doesn't look like it's going to close as a moderate green. So it's all good. All right. And again, guys, I'm only screenshotting the trades that we're taking here on the live so that you guys don't get confused about other trades I've taken. I just want to make sure that everyone's on the same page. No confusion with regard to what's taken on the live. Because I know a lot of people kind of take it out of context sometimes. They see these trades that I take during Asia and they want to copy it. They want to do the same thing I'm doing. And they start making mistakes. So just stick to the live session if you guys aren't ready to trade on your own. But once you guys are, I mean, you guys are more than welcome. I'd probably recommend doing it on a demo first to make sure that you can actually execute. All right, I made 650 off my MFF. Okay, the profits are a little different across all my accounts here. All right, 50. I made 560 off that one. 650 off this one. Okay. All right, so let me post up my profits really quick. All right, so these are just the trades taken here on the live. So no entries off here right now. Still looking for another possible. Maybe one right there. No, looks like it's coming down. Anyways, here is my main account right here. You guys can see the green strips. I let both of them hit full TP. So I made 890 off this last one that I just showed you guys right here. Should have been 1,000. I don't know what's going on. It's whatever. So there's slippage, obviously. It should be over 1,000 each trade here. So I made 960 off this one, 890 off this one. My copier here gave me 790. My MFF right here gave me 650. My second MFF 560, and then my third MFF 650 as well. So I mean, it's all good. It's profit. So, but it's not the full profit. So it's all good. It happens. So I see a lot of people, like when this happens, people get super upset and they get too frustrated. There's nothing you can do about it, guys. I mean, you guys can go and complain to FTMO, complain to MFF. I've tried it before. It doesn't do anything. So just move on with it, accept the profits, and then move on with the next trade. Because I see a lot of people get caught up on this, and then they're so busy being upset that they miss all these other trades. So just keep that in mind. So if it was a loss, then yeah, of course I'd be upset. But if it's profit, you just got to take the profit and move on to the next trade. So another profit. All right, so we're on with the next one over here. So this is what I mean about being patient, right? Like I haven't really been following into any trades. I'm just waiting. Like if I see something good and it closes proper, then I take it. I'm not here like trying to take every single trade. I'm looking for these quality entries. Once I see them, then I take them and they play out. I mean, pretty much perfectly, right? So I mean, that's the game here, guys. It's really just being calm and composed and taking trades when they come up, not like looking for every single little entry that you guys can take. So let me just scroll up real quick. A couple profits over here. Let's see, from Alexander. He took that first one, he pulled manually, locking a total profit of 460 at that time. He gave another update right here. He took this other account. He said full TP should have been 500. He only locked in 395. So it's all good. I mean, profit's profit, and you're going to run into those same issues, Alexander. I think it's because of the execution right now. The spread keeps changing. It's back to 150, and you're going to run into these issues. So it's all good. Frazier said for the first one, looks like I entered 10 seconds late. I don't know why I did that. I didn't enter right away. Then I jumped in, price was at the same place, but then it spiked down. Yeah, unfortunately, Frazier looks like he got in after it already hit TP. So he lost one trade, but he made it back on the second one. It's okay. It happens. It's just about bouncing back from it. So the good thing here is that you didn't get caught up on this loss, right? You would have been, I know some people who get upset, and it looks like you changed your lot size too. You could have made more profit off this one, but it's okay. A lot of people will take a loss and they'll be upset for too long and they'll miss this next trade. This trade came like 10 minutes after. So good thing that you already, past that. And then you took the trade right after and you made it right back. So it's all good. You'll make it back. There's no problem. You still have, another 2 days back to, you just need like 1 or 2 trades to break even, and then, you'll be right back at it. Oh gosh. Okay. No, you're smart, Frazier. So Frazier said his max daily loss is 500. So he had to change it, which makes sense. Change your settings to chart. Frame. So Jeff over here was asking for all the scalping. Jeff's asking like why his trend meter looks different. To change that, Jeff, just go down here to your trend meter. So turn on your indicators, go to your settings here, go to inputs, change them all to chart, or you can change them all to 1 minute. It's going to be the same thing. For scalping, this is what we set it to so that we know what the current time frame is or the current trend is for this specific time frame. If you're trading intraday, then you can change, that's the default setting. So you have your set here to default, which is 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, and 4 hour. It'll give you the overall trend for intraday settings. But since we're scalping, you don't care what happens, during those periods. You just want to know what's happening right now. So you go over there to chart, and then it'll change for you. So no other entries here, guys. Actually, there was an entry right here for a sell, but obviously it went right down to the news price right there, which would be a red flag. So it's in this area right here with no trades. Let me just go down further and see what else is going on. So Patrick over here posted his profits. He took like pretty much all the trades that he saw this morning. It looks like locked in a total profit of 13,432. Great work, Patrick. So you guys are all pretty much killing it this morning, whether it be from the official trades or whether it be from my analysis. But I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here doing really well. Joshua over here as well. So Joshua over here is up well over 600, it looks like. So nice work, Joshua. Not bad. Great consistency there. And yeah, it looks pretty good. Like right here, I think you moved your stop loss in profit, which is cool. Still made your profit. This last one, you let it run to full TP, so that's solid right there. So not bad. I know you're busy at work, so you don't have time to, to make adjustments like all of us do. But I'm glad to see you're still profiting. All right, Patricia over here as well. Patricia said, here goes a bunch of V3s. So she took a bunch of the variation entries right here. Total profit of 5,065 off this account. Nice work, Patricia. So as you guys can see, if you guys know what strategies to apply, you guys are more than welcome to apply whatever you like. One thing as well with Maddie started to trade the V1s, and he said that all of them have been hitting. So if you guys want to trade those strategies, you're more than welcome. But on the lives, I'm only going to be doing the SRs until the market starts to move directional. It's still ranging right now, so I still find it to be a bit risky. But you can see Patricia over here took a bunch of V3s, locked in 5,000 for the day. Her second account over here, she trades her accounts manually. She locked in 617 here, so you can see the profit differential, still great. And then her third account over here, she locked in 750. So as you guys can see, she's not using a copier. She's doing a lot of these by hand. Or I don't know if you're doing a copier on these. You might be, Patricia, because these are FTMO. So for these right here, she locked in 750, 617, 5,000. And then her fourth account down here, she locked in a total of 1,134. So profits are a little different across the accounts, which is perfectly fine. I mean, it just depends on like which broker you're using. I don't think this is FTMO because you're taking 50 lots. So this is definitely different. Oh, this is TFF maybe. I don't know. Could be right, could be wrong. But either way, Patricia is doing pretty solid all around. Okay, yeah, it's TFF. I figured. I was like, it says .cash, but there's no way you're taking it 50 on FTMO. So not bad. Nice work, Patricia. Charles over here as well. Charles, his first post right here, or his first account, he's up 1,096. Nice work, Charles. And then his second account over here, he's up 1,351. Nice work, Charles. Yeah, you guys are doing pretty good, guys. So I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here killing it, even though the market's kind of, all over the place. Jay over here as well. Jay took the sells, locking the total profit of 775 off this account. So nice work, Jay. And then over here, he said done for the day, took another trade. He's up 1,235. So a lot of you guys, there's a lot of you people here who have profited, not just a few, but a pretty good handful. David over here as well said, what a crazy market, locked in 3120 for the day. So nice work, David. I know you're trading on a smaller account, so you're slowly building your way back up. But yeah, today's been kind of crazy. Yesterday was kind of slow. I think the rest of the week's going to be pretty volatile as well, especially with more news coming around. So yeah. Professor said he got funded with TFF when they were using IC markets, but got crushed when my funded account went on their live server. Yeah, no, same here, Professor. That's why I stopped using them. But Patricia said they've been good for a while. So I don't know, maybe at some point I'll open another account with them. DeJohn took it on my demo, realized trade copy wasn't on SMH. That's the worst, right? It's the worst when it hits your TP on your demo, but then your copier wasn't on, so it doesn't trade on your actual accounts. Natasha said she locked in all wins. Nice work, Natasha. All right, cool. So I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here profiting. If you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in the group or send them to me personally. I'll add them to the list to be posted later today at the end of the session. It's 7:46 right now, guys. So the market is kind of slowing down a bit as we get closer to 8. As we get to that point, we'll probably be calling it a day because the market starts to move a little funky after 8. I mean, you guys are more than welcome to keep trading, but for me personally, that's my cutoff time. So I don't like trading after 8. I'll probably come back maybe around 10, maybe trade for a little bit there, but probably not because I don't want to mess up my profits that I already made this morning, taking riskier trades. Another zone down there. It's also not in a good area. This whole area right here is red flags. News price, opening price, sessions, news price down here. And then at 8 o'clock, the London session is going to update its sessions high low as well. All right, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat right now. As you can see, it's getting closer to 8, so it doesn't look like we're going to get any entries. Also, because it's in an area where there just isn't anything for us to take with all these red flags right here. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If you guys want more details on the strategy that we've been applying during the live session, just watch the previous mentoring session from like yesterday. Yesterday is probably going to be the clear and concise version of it, because I broke it down pretty easily. Or if you guys want more examples, I've been going over the strategy for the past 3 weeks on our mentoring session. So if you guys want to go on the K2 YouTube website, or the YouTube channel, just look up K2 trades or Kodi Kai trades. We're not going as K2 trades anymore. I'm just going to have this up until we make the full transition. Let's go to videos right here. And anything with the green background is going to be the mentoring session. So if you watch the one from yesterday, which is right here, this will go over the strategy in detail. So you guys can watch it, learn the strategy, apply it yourself, do whatever you want with it. I went over it the previous week, and the first week that we covered it was about 2 weeks ago. Or 3 weeks ago. So if you watch this one, it covers it pretty in detail as well. So if you watch any of these 3 sessions here, it'll give you a pretty deep, in-depth breakdown as to how the strategy is applied. So if you guys want to master this strategy, get really good at it, you guys have seen the win rates. Win rates are pretty insane. I mean, Maddie's put up the data for it. We went over yesterday. So for last week, it was 14 wins, 1 loss. The loss was my mistake. I took that trade and we shouldn't have taken it. Wick was too big. So it should have been 15 wins and 0 losses, but it's okay. It happens. Everybody makes mistakes. Week before that, 8 wins, 0 losses. And then the week before that, total of like 72 wins and 5 losses, or 22 wins and 1 loss on the live. So a lot of these losses are usually my mistake. Sometimes I get FOMO. Sometimes I just analyze things incomplete and we end up taking a loss. So it happens sometimes, but most of the time it doesn't. This is actual backtest data. If you guys are in the group, you guys can pull this up yourself. It was posted yesterday at about 7:50 a.m. So if you guys want to look at it, feel free. If not, just keep following along with these entries here. Wesley just posted his profits. He locked in a total profit well over 1,000. Nice work, Wesley. Solid. Yeah, you guys are doing pretty good. So it's 7:50 right now. I'm gonna hang on for a little bit to see if there's any other entries. As it gets closer to 8, then obviously we're gonna wrap it up. But it's still in this area here where we don't want to trade. So let me go over here real quick. I have all these markups on the 1 minute. Let me go on the 1 hour real quick. I'm going to see how that analysis is playing out. Or not really analysis, but the same thing I drew up earlier, right? All right. So there's a couple of different ways to analyze this. Like, price is still technically in a downtrend, but it's also in a range. Right? So I mean, you guys can analyze this however you like. I mean, you can draw this as a downtrend, or you can draw it as downtrend at that point and then broken into a range right here. But I mean, either way, it's the same thing. Right? If you want to analyze it that way, realistically, it's still in a range. So the news from today didn't necessarily complete the direction that we were anticipating. It kind of just pushed out and then it came right back in. So news happened right here. You can see the spike candle right there, but it wasn't enough to really break it outside. Right? Unfortunately. So, with that said, we still have like a whole week ahead of us. The news event from today was, it was all negative. So I'm expecting price to probably drop or correct back up as we, push forward with the session. Tomorrow we have some more news. So I think by the end of the week, price is going to break out of this area. So it's either going to be outside this area or outside this area. It's just a matter of time until that happens. This is a higher time frame. Let's look at sentiment. Sentiment is down to 60% short. So as you can see, a lot of these short people on the short side are getting stopped out. They're either getting stopped out or they're pulling out because they're getting scared. People are anticipating price to shift. So with that said, I think by by fall, I'm expecting this to be net long, right? I think price will continue dropping. And then at that point, it'll be net long, because as we progress throughout the year, we're getting deeper and deeper into a recession, right? So as we get deeper and deeper to a recession, people are going to shift to buying because they think, oh, they're buying at a discount, but realistically, price can just keep dumping further and further. So you just want to keep track of this. You can see right here, it's 60% short. I'm expecting this to pretty much do the opposite by the end of the year. So it might happen next month. It might happen in October, November, December, but this is no longer going to be heavy short. It's going to be heavy long, because a lot of people are going to try to buy the dip. And at that point, price is going to keep getting manipulated, but in the opposite direction. Looking over here at the fundamentals, they're not very strong at all. They're 54 points or 64 points. So not much is happening right here. This is not much of a use to us, because we can only use this if it's above 100 points or below. So with that said, fundamentals here are pretty much useless at the moment. Same with the sentiment here. 60 is like our threshold. So if it goes anywhere below that, it's not going to be too useful for us. This just shows that we're in a neutral bias right now. It's not necessarily strong bullish or strong bearish. It's pretty neutral right now. Here we are back at the charts on the 1 minute. You can see price is dropping below. This is perfectly fine. If price continues to drop below like this, then you can look for a wick rejection off this structure and continue selling. So you don't have to be stuck in trading one way. If the market starts to shift, then you can shift with the market. Something to always keep in mind. You should never be stagnant with one direction. Nice. Yeah, Alexander said pivot scalp full TP. If you guys caught that, great. I mean, I wouldn't have caught it because it was right at the news price. But for some people, if you guys, and it was also a triple confluence. Thanks, MJ, for the. Yeah, if I saw that, that would have been a good entry. So this was actually a triple confluence. I didn't even identify that as a triple until MJ kind of mentioned it, because it broke and closed past the low over here. It was red momentum, red trend meter below the pivots, perfect, triple confluence right there. So yeah, for one, Alexander identified the pivot scalp. MJ identified the extra criteria for it being a triple confluence. Nice. John actually caught it too. So John said, I took that pivot scalp. Nice. So this is why it's important that you guys understand the strategies, right? You guys can't be lazy and expect to be like a successful trader. You have to actually watch the videos, understand what we're applying here, because even if I'm not covering it here on the live, if you guys know what you're doing, you guys can take these trades here. So nice work, John, Alexander, and MJ. Yeah, MJ was watching it. He saw it close and then played out perfectly. So if you guys want to keep trading, it's perfectly fine. What you could look for here is for a price to retrace up. You'll see a wick rejection off here with a moderate red candle. If you get that, then you can take it for another sell, continue riding it lower from that point. It's going to retrace at some point. You guys can see that it's a bit overextended. Price has been dropping from this point to here. There was some retracement. So like price dropped a little bit, retraced, and then came back down, but it's a little bit overextended right now. Price has dropped about 1,900 pips. So you guys can see that volatility is starting to pick up a lot. Before it moved like maybe 500 pips, right? This is like movement from yesterday. It was so slow, 500 pips. Now it's moving like quadruple that, almost 2,000 pips. So you can see that the summer slowdown is starting to pick up. So we're starting to actually get some pretty nice movements. And I think it'll just get better as time continues. Marco said, not sure why this is happening. It's showing me hitting stop loss, but taking profit. I have my stop loss set correctly at, I think, so Marco, I think your problem here is you might have your trailing stop loss turned on. Trailing stop turned on, because since it's hitting your stop loss and profit, your stop loss is moving with price unless you're moving it up manually. Yeah. So Marco, I think I mean, just looking at your trades here, if it's hitting your stop loss and profit, there's two different things that can be happening. You either have your trailing stop turned on. I think that's probably what's happening, or you're manually moving your stop loss and profit. Because what happens is, so this is what happens, Marco. Let's see. So say you got a short position right here, right? And here, I'll just use this as an example over here. I think this would be a solid example. So I'll just replay it right here. So say you got your entry running like this right here, right, Marco? And I think you're still on here. I'm hoping you are. Forget what your username is on. Oh yeah, you are. So Marco is on here. All right, Marco. So if you have a trailing stop, this is typically what happens. So see how price drops down like this, and it drops into profit. So when it drops into profit like that, if you got a trailing stop running, or I guess I could go from over here. And I'm just using this as an example, guys. There's no actual entry here. So if you enter the trade like right here, as price drops a little bit like that, what happens is your trailing stop follows it. So even though you're trying to go for that full TP right here, if price ends up swinging up, you're going to get stopped out in profit. And that's what happens to your account. So like right here, for example, price is dropping lower, and then you got that right there. So if price swings up any higher, it's going to stop you out in profit right there. And it does like that, right? So price swings up, it stops you out, and then it keeps dropping, where you would have made more profit if it kept dropping down here. So what I'm seeing right here, Marco said, LOL, if I got trailing stop on FTMO, I don't know how I cut it on. So, you know, right there where it says your stop loss and you put 3,000, there's a box right below it that says trailing stop. You might have accidentally triggered that, and you might have some points placed on there. I think that might have been the case. Like, does it show box, or is it like blank? Like right next to where it says trailing stop. Yeah, if it's blank, that means you got it triggered on. Yeah, that means you got it on, Marco. That's why I had to ask you the question before I told you what it meant. So if it's a blank, you actually have it turned on. If the box is on, that means it's turned off. Yeah, no. So yeah, you just got to turn that off. So when you click, like, just click on the blank, and then the box will come up, and that means that it's turned off. That's what was happening. You had your trailing stop running every time. So like, instead of you hitting your full TP, whenever it came down, it just automatically closed you out in profit. It's all good. I had the same issue too when I first started using that, because it's hard to see here on the Mac. I know on the computer it actually shows an X, so you can see that when it's actually on. But on the Mac, it just shows that it's blank, so you don't even know if it's on or not. So that solved your issue there. See if there's anything else here to look at before we log off. So Jonathan over here, nice work, Jonathan. I know you've been super patient with your trades here, and it paid off. So he's been very patient with his trades. He took the 2 trades we took earlier with the scalps, locking a total profit of 250 for the day. So nice work right there, Jonathan. Kevin over here as well, currently up 39,136 for the day. All wins and no losses. Nice work, Kevin. Yeah, Kevin said, done for the day. Caught a lot of nice moves. I only took sell today because price was on a bearish on the higher time frame. There was a lot of liquidity below that had to be hit. Yeah, no, smart move, Kevin. You know, use your analysis with our analysis here, and it all lines up. Marco said, so I need the box on or off. off means the if it's blank, that means it's on. Yes, you got to turn it off, Marco. That's how you would fix it. I know it's confusing, but I don't even use it anymore. So I just don't even play around with it. I used to use it for the breakout. That's like the only strategy I'd use it for. But other than that, I don't use it anymore because I just go for the full TP. So price is jumping pretty heavy. As you guys can see here, the numbers starting to increase. So you guys can see the shorts here. Shorts are now up 62%. So you can see a lot of people are starting to bandwagon onto these sells, right? So people see the sells coming on right here. And the reason why the number here is increasing is because a lot of people are trying to hop into that sell. They're chasing this drop here. The problem with that for them is that I anticipate price to swing right back up and stop them all out. So I think from now 8 till 10, price will probably consolidate a little bit. And then eventually it'll probably come back up to stop all those people out. Or, I mean, it could keep dropping, who knows? But that's just, that's my contrarian view. I typically like to do the opposite of everybody else. So if everyone starts to hop into these sells, I'm expecting them to get manipulated out. They're just getting manipulated into the trade. They're just getting manipulated. So they're getting manipulated into the trade because they see this big dump here and they want to chase the sell, this big waterfall. But then they're also going to get kicked out because they're just going to get stopped out at like right after. And you can see there it went from 62 to 61 because what happened? That 1% of people just got stopped out with this big spike right here. How much did it spike up? About like 300 pips. Sometimes a lot of people like to take trades with like super tight stop loss. So they'll take a sell right there, have the stop loss right there. They try to go for like a 5-to-1 or something like that. They get stopped out. So if this number over here increases again back to 62, that's because these same people who got stopped out, they're going to try to re-enter again. So just keep that in mind, guys. All right, it is 8:04, guys. So I think that's it for the post today. I don't see any other questions here. If you guys have more profit to post up, then let's see one more question from Marco. He said, yep, so it's off. Put that box right there. So I forgot who was asking. I think Eric, you were asking about the spread, right? So this is a screenshot of like what the spread would look like if you're using a toolbar. It says spread right there, and then it says how many points. It's technically 18 pips. I know it says points, but it's the same with like how we put in our points here. We put 1,000, but it really means 100. So you just take the 0 off. No problem, Marco. All right, guys. So I think that's it for today. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out. You guys can email me or message me on Telegram. Just a reminder, we're still going through the rebranding process. I'm going to try to make it as smooth as possible with as little downtime as possible as well. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow morning for the next live session as we continue on with this trading week. So any questions, guys, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow morning.